Welcome to CBBT News, where we give you all the latest news and reviews around the world. First things first, our President Uhuru Kenyatta signed a memorandum of understanding with the French President, Mr. Macron, who was in town last week and primarily dealt with the construction of a rapid rail system from the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport to the CBT. Now, this is aimed to reduce congestion on Mombasa Road and, of course, move passengers faster from the CBD into the airport. What do you think about this particular development?
I think it's a great idea. It takes pressure obviously off Mombasa Road. It's very important for us as a growing city to be able to connect our international airport with our capital city. But I think something that we need to think about is transport from a holistic perspective. Because at the moment we have the SGR, we're about to have bus rapid transit. We need to think about how all of these things play together.
On to the second news item, where a Dutch-Kenyan firm, Kibo Africa, just launched the K250 bike in Kenya. Now, this particular bike is built for Africa and is built primarily for the people who want to do a lot of business off-roading. Every part has been redesigned. Close to 300 parts have been designed by Kenyans for Kenya. Lastly, we do now talk about Iveco opening up a multi-million state-of-the-art showroom on Mombasa Road along the ICDL road. Now, this follows on the phase 2 of the strategic plan of the Global Motor Center, who are the key authorized agents of Iveco in Kenya. Now, they initially started building Iveco trucks in Mombasa in 2017 and now have progressed into building a state-of-the-art showroom which will follow the network expansion strategy, where they'll target Kisumu, Nakuru, Mombasa, just to name but a few.
Up next, we check out the new Toyota 7-seat SUV for growing families, the Toyota Rush.
Speaking to the moms out there and the ladies who want practicality, now the Toyota Rush is just the perfect proposition for you. What am I talking about? If you look closely at this car, it's designed to give that room for space. You can even tell the dashboard is pushed forward so that you can have enough space. Now, the highlight of this dashboard is this center console. Of course, Toyota really tried to make it as premium as possible. You do have some piano black excerpts around the touchscreen display, and as I look over here, you do have a proper 10-inch display courtesy of Pioneer. Now, it houses the radio, of course. You do have Bluetooth that you can connect either your music or your telephone. And of course, you can also do quite a number of things, including check out the amount of space that you have, because it has a hard disk drive inside this particular unit. So, music is fantastic. 6 speakers, good sound, that makes a long journey quite bearable in the Rush. Again, the seats are quite comfortable. Gone are the days when Toyota used to make the thin seats. Now they're bolstered. You can even tell you do have bolsters even on the flatter side of the seat and on the side as well. So they make you have a comfortable journey when you're driving in the Rush. Here on the driver's side as well, there's plenty of leg and headroom. Big boy obviously can fit, as you can see. Even you do have some adjustment over here. So like that. So for a shorter person, for a taller person, of course. And then the pedals are not too far away. They're in the middle, so even a shorter person with the seat up front can be able to reach the pedals quite easily. Right below it, you have climate control. Obviously, cools the cabin. You do have several vents, circular ones and rectangular ones, across the whole vehicle. So everybody, even at the back, the kids especially, can feel quite comfortable and can not be irritable during the hot weather. Again, also on the gearbox lever, it's a shift gate type of gearbox. 4-speed, remember I mentioned that earlier. So it gives you good fuel consumption. And of course, you do have a 12-volt socket, so you can pair up, you can put your charger if your car doesn't have a charger. Again, you do have 3 cup holders over here. So I think 2 are for the main front and then 1 for the middle passenger who's seated over here. You do have door bins as well, quite large. 2 bottles can fit in, 2 bottles on that side. The instrument binnacle is actually very clear and precise. You do have a light blue hue on the tachometer and speedometer, so it is visible during day and night. And you do also have a warning system right below the tachometer, so it will tell you if the fuel is low, if you have check engine, and all those vital signs that you need when driving this vehicle. At the back, the first row seat can sit 3 people comfortably. Even the middle seat, you can fit 3 adults comfortably. At the back, it's 2 kids. 2 kids. If you are 2.5 men short, then it's fine, you can sit there. But again, practicality is the name of the game. So if you're going to Shags and you need to carry a lot of people, children, and luggage, then this particular car is a car for you. You do also have a rear air conditioning unit that allows you to cool the cabin as well without affecting the front. So here you can have your AC and things. At the back, guys can also be comfortable and relaxed. Guys, can you imagine the size of this Rush? The boot is massive. So the second row seat actually can fold into a position where you can actually carry stuff. So your luggage, your groceries, they will fit in this particular boot. But if you need more space, like an extra 2 seats, you can fold it like that. Voila, 7-seater. This particular car is so practical, it hurts. Guys, you need just to see this vehicle, man. You need to see it. So much space. And of course, for a young modern family, this will be the vehicle to carry kids to school and back, do excursions, and of course, have a fuel efficient engine. Right now, we're going to go on the road and find out how comfortable, how efficient the Toyota Rush is. Stay tuned. I'm having such a lovely time courtesy of the Volkswagen Amarok. Before I get into the details, let's talk about 4x4 double cabs. They've come a long way, as I mentioned earlier, and the likes of the Ford Ranger, the Toyota Hilux, and the Nissan Navara are all trying to compete in the same space. So the competition's gone up, so definitely Volkswagen had to respond. And ladies and gentlemen, today we have the Volkswagen Amarok. And not just any Amarok. This is the Canyon. This is the cherry on the icing. Why? Because it's a different sort of make. What differentiates this particular car with the standard Amarok? The color. This has something called the fairy orange color, and that color has been used extensively inside the cabin, as you can see. So you can see it covers the circular air vents with that orange color, and also the stitching on the leather. I mean, guys, this is Germans are taking it to the next level, and when Germans get to it, they make sure that everything sounds and looks good. Now, this particular dashboard on the center console, you do have an audio system. I know the competition has touch and whatever, but this is just functional because it has a CD player. You can actually pair your phone using Bluetooth, and then you can also put a flash disk, auxiliary in and out, and of course an SD card. That's okay. I mean, this is a pickup, this is a workhorse, but remember, these creature comforts do add a lot of value when it comes to overall purchasing parity of anyone looking to buy the pickup. Now below it, you do have the climate control, which is, it's a standard climate control system that helps you keep the cabin cool at all given times. And of course, there's plenty of cabin spaces. You can see here, there's plenty of space here. Put your bottle tops, they're doing there. And of course, on the handbrake as well, you do have some cup holders as well, so you can hold your drinks as you go through the long distances. Again, if you look at the instrument binnacle, it's clear and precise. All the letters and dials are clear, so that when you're driving, you can actually see the vital information. And in between the dials, you do have an information system that gives you the range of the fuel, temperature, if you have any critical warning signs on check engine or ABS, whatever it is, and even deflog, then it will tell you directly, so you're able to control that and navigate easily. Now, on the gearbox column, you do have quite a number of switches. So first of all, you have a seat warmer, which is fantastic during the cold season. You do have stability control on this part, and then you do have hill descent control. On the right side, you do have also that particular one, the seat warmer on the right side, and then you have the four-wheel drive toggle system. Now this particular toggle system allows you to toggle between too high and too low. You don't need necessarily to stop. However, if you want to switch to 4 low, then you have to stop, put the car in neutral, and then engage 4 low. It will now lock the differentials, and now you'll be an off-road expert courtesy of Volkswagen Amarok. Ama namna gani, my friend? Again, look at it from this point of view. It's quite spacious. The seats are comfortable. The front seats are well sculpted. Remember, BMW makes one of the best seats in the world. So you can see seat bolsters are here on the side, and even bum bolsters, and also hamstring bolsters as well. So you're able to drive long distance in the Amarok. At the back, the matters are also the same. There's plenty of room. Head and leg room is fantastic at the back. Although the center person at the back would feel a little bit squeezed, but again, this is a car that is practical enough for 5 people, 5 adults, and you're able to enjoy the beautiful landscape of Kenya using the Volkswagen Amarok. Let's go to the back and see if this particular car can carry some weight. So as you can see, the load bay is quite spacious. It's deep and wide to accommodate boxes, your luggage. It could be goats, could be firewood, could be anything. So it's spacious enough to carry that, and it actually carries 800 kilograms or 0.8 tons. If you push it, maybe about 1,000 or 1 ton. But that said, the luggage area is also quite flexible. You can actually power your refrigerator because it has a 12-volt socket, and of course it has tie-down hooks to make sure that the goods don't move around when you go bundo bashing with the Amarok. So guys, let's go out, let's have some fun, let's go and do some off-roading and tell you if this particular car is capable and can beat the likes of the Ford Ranger, the Hilux, and the Nissan Navara. Stay tuned. Up front, it's powered by a 1.5 liter Toyota engine, dual VVTi, producing 102 horsepower and 134 Newton meters of torque. Of course, the power is sent to the front wheels courtesy of a 4-speed automatic, which is a standard automatic that you get in most Toyotas. And Toyota claims that this particular car will return a fuel economy figure of, guess what? 8 kilometers to the liter.
It has a very premium look and feel, and in terms of practicality, it's actually quite something. This is a full 7-seater. It has storage bins for bottles. They're actually 13 across the car. Yes, the air conditioning also reaches the second row. Third row is very easy to get into. The car is raised. There's still a lot of space in the back, even with a third row of seats up. And so I have to say, it's a really practical car. That's one thing I really have to say. It's very practical. It's something that they've thought about. If you have a family, putting the family in this car, even in the middle there, you have a 3-point safety belt for the middle passenger on the second row of seats. This car is very practical. That's the one thing. If you were to describe the Toyota Rush in one word, it would be practical.
This particular car, believe it or not, has vehicle stability control. Yes. And that is impressive from Toyota, because remember, back in the day, Toyota used to never bother with the lower models adding such a feature, but now it's become a commonplace in most cars, which is very important. And then for active safety, you do have ABS, which is also standard, and of course for passive safety, you have 6 airbags in this car. I think the Rush looks like a mini RAV4. What do you think?
Yeah, it actually looks pretty good, and in fact, this model we're in currently actually has daytime running lights. So very aggressive styling from Toyota. It looks smaller than it actually is, because it's actually very deceptive. When you get into the car, then realize, oh, actually, lots of space around here, lots of space to put stuff. It looks good, and then it delivers on what it looks like, because it has a very high ride height. So you don't get worried by any bumps, any imperfections on the road. You have a very nice sight line now from when you're driving. You're at a race position. And then the engine is okay. I mean, the focus of the engine is fuel efficiency. So you have now the standard 4-speed auto that we know and love from every other Toyota. And so the fuel efficiency is something that, like you're saying, when you're thinking about a family car, so it's able to carry all your people and all their things and do this looking good, and it still returns great fuel efficiency. So basically, as a package, this is something that somebody has thought about in terms of now when you have a family. This is a very good package for a family car.
So guys, we have extensively tested the Toyota Rush, and I can tell you there's no vehicle in the market that can give this value. 3 million bob. That's what's going to cost you when you go to Toyota Kenya and ask for this car. You can choose it in different colors, taste and preference depending on you. But before you make that decision, who are the key rivals to the Rush?
At the moment, there is simply nobody who is going to give you a 7-seat SUV for 3 million shillings. All we can do is look at the future, and that's going to be now the Suzuki Trigger, also coming from Toyota. So at the moment, all I can say is there is simply nobody who will give you a 7-seat SUV for 3 million shillings.
Guys, remember, stability control, 7 seats, 6 airbags, touch screen. As in, that car is so loaded. If you want a test drive, please send us a link on our side of our DMs, even Toyota DMs, and then they'll organize for you to get a proper test drive and you'll enjoy the Toyota Rush. Welcome to Cars with Big Boy Itself maintenance segment, and today we are doing something different, something special. If you love power and output and you're wondering, can my car get that extra horsepower to go down the street and fire up and cruise, then this is the show for you. Now today I'm with Mr. Amit, who's in charge of AMS tuning, right?
Yes, correct.
And he's somebody who's an expert when it comes to tuning vehicles. I know you're wondering, what is tuning? What are the basics? Mr. Amit, karibu sana to the show.
Thank you.
Tell us, what's an ECU? What's mapping? What is it?
ECU is an engine control module, or can I say a brain of the car, like the way we have a heart of our bodies, which basically has been designed to work with your car to the best level of what the manufacturer prefers that it has to be. ECU mapping basically have that we overwrite that existing software and create our own software to make the car run more efficient based on our altitude, our fuel octane in this country. Like for example, Japan runs at 9,000 sea level, we run at 5,000. They run at 99 octane, we run at 91 octane, even less. So these cars have to be recalibrated, remapping, and that's what an ECU is for. And that's what we do here as a professional business.
We have something special behind us, and I'd like him to tell us this particular Jeep 6.4 Hemi. What has he done to increase the power and output? What's the initial power of this car?
The 6.4 Hemi of the American standard is about 320 horsepower. That is based on 99 octane in the US. This was a 2016-2017 model that we brought in. I went to America last year. We bought it off the showroom and we went down to California and transferred from a left to right to bring it into this country. The idea was to bring in a big muscle vehicle because everyone is crowded with, you know, the four-cylinder. This was something that we wanted to get into to show that the American muscle can also work in Africa. And Jeep has also been coming in this country now, we can see.
Yes.
So why not bring a Hemi and see what we can do? So the history of this car now is we have put in a custom RIP supercharger kit on it, which cranks out 200 horsepower out of the stock. So we're aiming at about 600 horsepower. She has a full big bore exhaust system, and she's running at about 99 octane. And now you may ask where I get that fuel from. So we have a drum of avgas sitting right on in our stores here because she needs to be fueled with high octane. Our fuel is not going to sufficiently give her what she needs. But that is something that we are working on, and we have detuned her slightly because we have to blend that fuel.
Guys, you want to see how much power this baby produces on the dyno. I am so excited, I can't even wait. Guys, have you seen the amount of power coming out from that Hemi 6.4 supercharged? How many horsepower?
Sheep cranks at about 480 on the wheel, so we're talking about 473 brake horsepower, close to about 580 brake horsepower. And that has been detuned.
Yes, for local conditions.
Yes, for local conditions and the fueling.
Guys, I can't even express myself. I'm sweating. It's because of the adrenaline rush. The engine kicks in at about 5,500 when the supercharger kicks in. The sound on that large bore exhaust. Unbelievable, guys. That is the power of tuning. Mapping your car to extract so much power for your pleasure on the road. But you have to do it responsibly, guys. Remember, you don't want any issues. Welcome to another exciting review courtesy of Cars with Big Boy Trev. We endeavor to give you all the latest news and reviews from across the world. Now, in our ongoing series of reviewing pickups, we've sampled the Toyota Hilux, the Ford Ranger, and the Nissan Navara. Well, today we have something different, something from Germany. It's time to showcase the Volkswagen Amarok. This particular unit is powered by a standard 2-liter turbo diesel engine. Not just the standard one that's found on the Amarok base edition. This is the bi-turbo, twin turbo, producing 132 kilowatts and 430 newton meters of torque. Now all that power is transmitted to the four wheels courtesy of a 6-speed manual transmission, or in some markets you do have an 8-speed automatic. But the one I'm driving is 6-speed manual, which gives you the capability to explore the full potential of this engine like this. So when you pull it down, it gives you all the power, and you're able to feel the torque coming in quite easy, and the engine revs freely all the way to 4,500 RPM, and that's the beauty of having a manual gearbox. Now, four-wheel drive system, of course, it's now paired with the 4Motion system that distributes power to all the four wheels, and you do have diff-lock for those situations, and a sensing, helical sensing differential that senses the surface and adjusts the torque delivery with ease. That is the beauty of the Amarok. Talking about this particular car's fuel efficiency, I can't say much, but 7.5 liters per 100 kilometers is a claimed figure, and we're going to test that later on. But as you drive this particular car, you want to feel the power and the delivery. It handles very well. The suspension up front is a double wishbone, and at the back you do have tapered leaf springs with long stroke suspension that allows you to feel much more comfortable in uneven surfaces like this, and allows for maximum wheel articulation when going off-road. It's always important to be safe. Now the Amarok comes with 6 airbags as standard, anti-lock braking system, electronic stability control, and of course the most important thing, the safety belts. This is the most important thing in your vehicle. Guys, we've tested the Volkswagen Amarok Canyon to extremities, and I can tell you this thing is as tough as the rivals. Speaking of rivals, the main competition in this segment include the Ford Ranger, the Toyota Hilux, and the Nissan Navara. Now, DTW will sell you this particular car with prices starting at 6.1 million Kenya shillings and comes with a 2-year unlimited warranty. Guys, it's been an honor hosting this particular review. If you have any questions, comments, or queries, please, you know what to do. Follow us on our social media handles as seen below. Tell us, slide in the DM and tell us what you think about the Amarok. Would you pick this over the rivals? Guys, it's been real. Thank you so much for joining us on this occasion of Cars Big Boy Trev. As usual, if you have any questions, comments, or queries, slide into the DMs. Let us know, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. This is Big Boy Trev signing out.
This is Burigi. Drive safe
and be safe.